one of the things too, because we have a lot of folks who don't live here.
Yeah.
They own property and they're not here all the time. That this will really help them.
Yeah.
The neighbors looking out for their neighbors.
Yeah.
I have folks in my area that that's not here all the time and everything, and I keep a watchful eye on their property.
Yeah.
And everything, and we jumped someone not too long. Jumped, that's well, jumped into action. Uh,
Payroll.com. Check us out at Facebook. Check us out at YouTube. Check us out at Rumble and now on Twitter. If you're looking for us, go look for the gorilla with the red headphones. That is our mascot, and that is everywhere we are. So if you're seeing content out there that doesn't have that gorilla with the red headphones, it's not coming from us. We've got the privilege this morning of sitting down with Sheriff of Newton County, Robert Burby. We're just going to talk with him this morning, kind of get an update as to what's going on in the community and some of the things you guys in Newton County might be interested in. Appreciate you sitting down with me.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for dropping by and extending this opportunity. You do house calls because you're in office, and as you can see, that I do have a lot going on, and that's always one of the things that we're doing is on with the investigations we're going with the missing person, Mr. Joshua Larkin. Anyone with any information, please feel free to contact us. You can remain anonymous. You can go to Southwest Crime Stoppers if you want to report something, or just call 409-379-3636 and say anonymous. And that way your name will not be entered into the call log. And we appreciate folks who do that, to play their civic role, to let us know. And also, don't second guess yourself and say, oh, that this might not be anything. Just a little bit can mean a whole lot in an investigation like this.
Does it seem like that investigation? Obviously, it's still ongoing until he's found, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
But does it seem like? I mean, are you having some people reach out?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of folks who reached out, and as you know, in a case like this, you have to follow all these leads to see where they lead to. And we've been doing that.
Right.
And everything is the only thing that I hate, and this is just the way it is, procedures. We can't tell you guys what we found or didn't find.
Yeah.
Because the integrity of the case have to stay solid.
That's right.
And everything. So we just want folks to be mindful of that process and respect it, and don't say that, oh, they're not doing anything. One of the things about police work, there's a lot we do behind the scenes that the public does not see or know about.
That's right.
When it comes to policing and investigating serious cases, or any case for that matter.
Yeah.
And we don't take anything for granted. We don't assume. You have to have the facts. I was thinking about doing a column on our Facebook page, just the facts.
Yeah.
Because opinions may vary from person to person.
Right.
But the facts remains the same.
That's right.
Your facts you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
Well, it's like I heard a guy say here the other day: the facts are not concerned with your feelings.
Right.
So it's a lot of times you get these narratives going out here in the community, and the narratives are just 100% narratives. They're not factual. And so it's kind of it sucks that that's the case, because I mean you do have people who are interested in trying to help and stuff like that, but a lot of times they get trapped up and wrapped up in these narratives.
Yeah.
They kind of control everything, you know.
Yeah, and it's with the social media being the way it is today, you can slander someone real quickly with a few words, misplaced words, or misinformation, and that's sad. I've seen people commit suicide over things that was put out on social media. So you got to
Wow.
be very responsible
Sure.
and doing that. Um, and like I say, it doesn't take much to set a fire off.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
I see things on social media. Sometimes I'm like, wow, really, really. And sometimes you want to respond, but as a elected official, you don't get into those fuss fights on Facebook.
Yeah,
You have to remain professional
right.
and rise above that. That's why you don't see me responding to it. Like I said, I would respond to stuff from people. Uh, Call me, and if you want to call me and ask me about something,
Yeah,
409-379-36636. And if I'm not here when you call, I will get the message and call you back.
there you go. There
You
you
know?
go. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how social media, in a way, is it's almost like it's almost like giving a child a weapon. And I think the sad part is you see a lot of adults just immediately jump into this, you know, jump into this whole mudslinging. If it's got it, it doesn't take long for one of these little narratives to pop up, and then we're off to the races. This guy's a thief, or this guy's a crook, or that lady's embezzling, or whatever the case is, and there's no merit to it. And it's almost like this childlike thing that comes up inside of us. I say childlike. I don't even know if children are as bad as some of these adults, but But I mean, to me, it's almost like giving a child a weapon, in a way.
Hmm.
Giving social media, giving open door closet, like you're in your own closet and you're saying this stuff, and we're void of the responsibility of what's being said. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but. So let's kind of jump off into a couple of the things that we wanted to talk about today. Obviously, you guys got a town hall meeting coming up on April 12th.
Yes, we have a town hall meeting with Family Services.
Okay.
It's going to be on April 12th over at the Civic Center at the Howard Civic Center. And it's going to start at 12 and run to 3. And it's going to be speakers from Family Services, as well as the county judge, Ronnie Cochran, and myself.
Okay.
We're hosting it. As I was saying earlier, I'm a board member on this program. They offer a lot of different services for the public, and I have brochures that we've been passing out and putting out for people. One of the things, counseling. Domestic violence shelter for women and kids, employee assistance program, sexual assault program, domestic violence shelter, battered intervention and prevention program, those kind of things, just to say the least. Also, I found out that they even take clothing in
Okay.
for people who come to the center and don't have adequate clothing, and so that's another avenue for folks who want to drop things off. And at this town hall meeting, they'll be giving you where the drop off points are. Another thing that they're interested in, we're trying to find. I'm working with the judge's office, try to find a satellite place for them to come over here a couple times a week for the Newton County folks.
Okay.
That will be nice. So we're working on trying to get that done as well. And we're going to have this kickoff town hall meeting to just let folks know what they're about and the services that they offer.
So that's going to be open to the public.
Open to the public.
Anybody can go.
Anybody can go.
As long as they do right and treat people right.
Yeah, they can come and ask questions and everything, because a lot of folks don't know that they have these shelters around. They're not. One of the things about these shelters, they're not highly advertised what they are, but they do advertise what they are.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they provide a very valuable resource for the communities and everything, and they are spread out throughout Southeast Texas.
So, and that kind of goes to, obviously you don't want the locations out and available when you're dealing with very strained relationships, maybe family relationships and stuff like that. So that makes complete sense.
Yeah, it does. And I remember when I worked the streets. In Georgia. I had one in my zone, and I made sure that I paid a lot of attention on what was going on over there, because of what it was.
Yeah.
A lot of folks didn't know what it was, but I knew what it was.
Sure.
Law enforcement.
Yeah.
And everything. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about kind of the situation with the jail. And I know we've touched on a couple of times mental health. What exactly? I mean, what's kind of the situation? I mean, because the jail's kind of in a rough position.
Yeah. Well, Burke Center service us when it comes to mental health needs. And again, I've been working with them. I was with them most of the day yesterday in meetings on some of the programs going forward as a board member on that. So these are two of the things that I know Newton County needs, and that's one of why I volunteered and was voluntold to be on a couple of these things. But it is very near and dear to us on the mental health issue that we face. We as a society, mental health came about right before the Iraq War. They came out. I remember they told us in a chiefs meeting that we was going to have a lot of issues with mental health on the returning vets and this, that, and other.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, right. But now here we are, 20-some years later, and we have suffered through many different issues, especially in law enforcement, on mental health. There's not a lot of space and available for the issues that we're confronted with on a daily basis. For instance, we have someone who come in who has some mental issues and everything, and we have them assess and everything. And if they are recommended for high level care, then where's the bed?
Yeah.
It's going to be somewhere not here close.
Sure.
And at this point, we're not concerned with where it's at.
Yeah.
Just if you tell me where it's at, I'll take them there.
Right.
It's just that needed. It's needed just that much.
Yeah.
And everything. We've taken people on the other side of Abilene.
Wow.
Before, yes. Abilene, Texas. We take people Houston a lot, Montgomery County, that area. We take people up north, up around Longview.
Yeah.
But
so it's a long process. It's not just something that you can just take them over to Jasper or take them to Beaumont.
No, that's not. Normally, that's not the case. And we're covered by the Burke Center, and we brought up the issue that we need something that's going to be longer than a week or 10 days, because a lot of times. What they do is they bring them in, they get them squared away on their meds, they get them on the regiment and everything, and then they let them go. Okay? They release them. Okay? Well, as long as they're still on their meds, they're fine, but,
Who's regulating that once they're on their own?
Yeah, we have a lot of issues where they're not taking their medications and
Yeah,
everything like they should and everything. And I call them redos. We get them back in here
yeah.
and everything. We start the process over again. And, we have had waited on a bed for 9 months.
Wow.
In that 9 months, that person had to stay incarcerated here. We had an incident where one guy stayed incarcerated for 9 months or so, and because of the way his situation was, we couldn't put anyone in there with him, so he took up 4 cells.
Wow.
Yeah. So, again, it is very strenuous, and it is hard on all different levels
Sure.
because the Burke Center tries to find a place to put these folks to meet their needs, their immediate needs, and then whatever that place is, we have to take them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a ripple effect, and they have Berkshire has put in for funding and assessment to try to get a kind of intermediate level facility in place, whereas it's longer than a week or so.
Yeah.
Because some of the folks that we get, they need a lot of long-term supervision
Yeah.
and everything, and that's not really currently available per se.
Sure.
So, and a lot of things come into play with that, with the insurance or no insurance,
Who's
criminal
gonna pay
charges,
for it? Yeah.
yeah, criminal charges and everything. A lot of places won't take someone who has criminal charges, so we have to work that uh, area as well.
So it's
So,
almost like once they get here, they're already in a position where they've got kind of the cards stacked against them, as far as finding a location. Because I mean, they're not showing up here on their own free will.
yeah,
I mean, there's some level of criminal charges
yeah,
involved.
there's some intervention needs to be done because of their behavior.
Yeah.
What I try to do, I try to be proactive. I know that there's someone might have some issues. I talk to the families to try to get them to go and uh, to volunteer to go and seek help.
Right.
There's a lot of different things that they can do, avenues available for people they go out on their own,
Right. Right.
to do that versus coming into our our area for us to get involved. And that's always the case. Let's try to be proactive before crime or something.
Right.
The rules have been broken
Right.
because you have more flexibility.
Yeah.
You know, uh, you're not in that punishment or
Sure.
violation stage,
Yeah.
and that is always a good way to go.
Gotcha. So at this point, is there any new news about the jail or what's going on up here north of town with the prison? Any new news? I guess some of the offices have moved up there from
Yeah,
the courthouse.
some of the county officers have moved up there. We have not um, made any um, arrangements for the jail is a bigger project
Right.
and everything. What I'm doing is I'm tracking, as always, how much we spend and everything, and we we need to get that moving before long,
Yeah.
because I got all the figures into for what we're spending. I did open up another MOU with Hardin County for overflow. As you know, we use Jasper and we have used Polk County, uh, but Jasper is our main primary point. But
Right.
when it get to the point where Jasper is full and we're full,
Yeah.
I have to have somewhere to go, and Hardin County will be that overflow.
How many people do you think, just on, I'm not asking for hard numbers, but I mean, just on average on a monthly basis, um, how much overflow are we sending out of here?
Well, right now we normally have about um, about 5 or 6
Okay.
that's over in Jasper at any given time. I think as of today, yesterday we had 7
Okay.
and everything.
So if we had a prison here, they could potentially, you could roll them right over to a jail cell over there. Am I right?
Yeah, if we had space here, we would have
You wouldn't even have to
hours.
sweat all that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to send hours anywhere. Actually, we'll be able to be just like Jasper. We'll make money uh, on holding other inmates from other counties,
Sure.
and because in the county jail system, that's another thing that it had become so much in demand. You find the space, and it doesn't really matter where it's at.
Yeah.
You go to it.
Yeah.
For instance, Harris County is always outsourcing some of their inmates
Yeah.
and everything, and smaller counties like us and Sabine County and
Yeah.
maybe Shelby. I'm not that familiar with Shelby, but anyway, there always a need for
Space.
inmate space.
Yeah.
I had even Louisiana call me. They asked me, could I take 44? I said, if I had the space, yes. Because they had to remodel.
Yeah.
A lot of the jails now are remodeling
Yeah.
because
Yeah, they come up to code.
well, not so much the code, space.
I got you.
And we have a lot of folks in this country today, and believe it or not, the average age when I took office was around 55. It used to be once you get to be about 27, people sort of crime drops, but that's not the case anymore. The age went up, and the recidivism percentage went up, and the amount of females being incarcerated also is up. So, someone who likes statistics, take a look at that and everything. And now, because of overcrowding and some of the way the laws have changed, because of misdemeanors, you don't really go to jail for misdemeanors anymore.
Yeah.
The people, they letting them out.
Yeah.
Because of the overcrowding.
Wow.
So everything that we do in this country is a kind of ripple effect. It might fix this area, but it affect this area drastically.
Sure. Sure.
And we're always maybe 10, 12 years behind society, the criminal justice system. So
The criminal justice system's about 10 and 12.
yeah, it might be even further. I know when I was a young pup, which was a very long time ago. That was a common. Oh, the criminal justice system is always 10, 12 years behind society.
Wow.
Things change. Things are changing very rapidly.
Yeah.
A lot of folks don't want change, but they're changing. Change doesn't care whether you want it or not.
Right.
So.
It's coming. That's for sure. No doubt. Specific to crime prevention.
Well, that is something that should be on everybody's bucket list. Should be in everybody's bucket list because police can't do it by themselves. When I say police, I mean by law enforcement. We can't do it by ourselves. I had a guy told me, he said, you need to come down here and see what they're doing down here. I said, okay, why don't you tell me? Well, come see for yourself. I say, yeah, that's fine, but what I see and what you see is different.
Right.
They're not going to do stuff in front of us. And
Sure.
they just wait till we pass by.
Yeah.
And everything. So we need, when I was a chief, and even here, we do intelligence-led policing. That's why I ask folks to call in, tell us what's going on. We do not have the manpower, nor will anyone would ever have the manpower to put someone, a police officer or a deputy on every block.
Right.
We need the folks to tell us what's going on. We're not there, so we can devise a plan to address it.
Yeah.
And another thing too, and you can agree or disagree, but random patrolling produces random results. give us. That's what we ask you. Tell us what's going on, and we will address it. You have to do strategic planning to do that. And just because you don't see us, that don't mean we're not there. So that's what I'm saying. Tell us what you're seeing, and we will address it. We
Yeah.
take the necessary measures. A lot of folks say, "Oh, Newton County, yeah, so it's a small department." Yeah, we're a small department, but we're not dumb.
Yeah.
You know, we're not dumb in what we do. So, I have picked out one place that I'm going to start a community watch or neighborhood watch, whatever you want to call it. And I'm open-minded, but it needs to be watched. And we're working to have folks start looking at the things and reporting what's going on. Not talking about it on Facebook or saying they ain't doing nothing and who are they. You know, one of the things I've been seeing, I've been in law enforcement for almost 30 years. And they said they know. I assume they're talking about police. No, that's not necessarily the case.
Sure.
We have to afford everyone their constitutional rights. Okay? That means that I can't go and start investigating you with no reason to.
Right.
And everything. And just because someone say they're doing it, we have to look into what they're saying to come up with the facts to be justified in looking or investigating, taking it a step further.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I ask for the input. I ask for people to work with us. And it's easy to just say, well, they ain't going to do anything and I ain't going to say anything.
Right.
Okay, so that's just saying that you're good with what's going on. And then,
yeah.
Work with us, not against us, and because we're all in this together.
Right.
You know, and so this neighborhood watch program is something that I have been instrumental in the past to getting it instrumented in various places, and people tend to know their neighbors and know what's going on in their area.
Yeah.
When I've seen it work where we develop a relationship with those folks in those neighborhoods, and we even know, you know, who was who or what was what.
Yeah.
We live in society today. We just can't run up and stop people just because we want to. We don't do that.
Right.
That went out. You can't do that. You gotta have a reason.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell folks to call. You know, call us, to give us proper calls to go and interact with us folks. I can't just arbitrarily, if I don't see any violations, I just can't stop a citizen for no reason.
Right.
You know, this is a free country.
Sure.
So we're working on that. More information will be put out on that as we go forward. And the summer is a good time to do that right now because people
with all
are
the
gonna
travel.
Yeah. One of the things too, because we have a lot of folks who don't live here.
Yeah.
You know, they own property and they're not here all the time. That this will really help them.
Yeah.
The neighbors looking out for their neighbors.
Yeah.
I have folks in my area that's not here all the time and everything, and I keep a watchful eye on their property.
Yeah.
And everything, and we jumped someone not too long. Jumped. Well, jumped into action, and everything was down there. Not doing some things they're not supposed to do and everything. So, and sometimes it might be very innocent, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of times things come up missing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why we have to be very vigilant on those kind of things.
So if there's a community out here and they're wanting to get one of these started up, they don't actually have to. They don't have to have something formal. All they got to have is just a way to communicate and a way to get the information to you guys.
Yeah, one of the things that we always have I would like to do is to get signs made to show the crooks that, hey, you got
being
neighbors
watched.
out here watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got neighbors out here watching, and one thing about a crook, he's not gonna go where he feel that he's gonna be watched, and the people are gonna see that he's uh, down there up to no good.
Yeah.
Because the people have got together and talked about things, and just about in our neighborhood, we know what cars are
Yeah.
regular, especially when you live in a dead end road. I mean,
That's
give me
right.
a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
They say the two best signs to put up at your house to prevent break-ins or trouble or anything like that is a beware of dog sign and an ADT security sign. Both of those are normally preventative. I mean, I knew a guy back in the 90s. He was just going around selling those signs.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nothing hooked up, no dog around, but he was selling those signs
yeah,
door to door.
yeah. I remember hearing that a while back and everything, but now video surveillance is so inexpensive.
Oh, that's no joke.
It is almost, I used it especially before I moved down here full time.
Yeah.
I had it on, and I was out on a cruise once, and I could watch my place.
Yeah.
It is, technology is amazing
It is.
and everything. It's not that expensive and everything. We have solved a lot of crime because of videos and pictures and everything, and it's invaluable.
Yeah.
Invaluable. So I don't, like I said, I don't say this brand is better than that brand. I think any brand is better than not having one.
Yeah, a camera that's on.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. Is there any final things you want to put out here to the community?
well, we're getting ready to move into the summer. A lot of water sports are going to be happening and taking and enjoying. One of the things that I've seen look like our traffic accidents are picked up and everything. So be careful on the roadway, everything, and
Stay away from the distractions on those roadways.
we had I remember we got a reckless driving call not too long ago, and just so happens it was down south, and I was down there, and they put the call out on reckless driver weaving all over the road. Well, I saw that car, and and I pulled over, and it passed by me, and it was weaving all over the road, and it was raining and everything, and I pulled him over and found out he was trying to eat.
Trying to eat his food.
Yeah, trying to eat his lunch.
Yeah, but the thing, what's crazy is, man, it doesn't take any time at all to hit somebody else in that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it really doesn't.
Yeah, because our roadways, you can go some of the speed limit is 75.
Yeah.
And that's moving.
Yeah.
That's moving, and so it doesn't take much time at all to go across that lane or what have you. And not only you going across the lane, you got to watch someone else coming across the lane.
That's the biggest thing.
And so you got to watch out for other guys. Many times I've moved over, when I have those big trucks, or especially, nothing against big trucks.
Right.
Because of the centrifugal force when you're going around a curve will push you straight.
Yeah.
And everything. So you got to be aware of that.
Yeah.
So
it's easy to get clipped by one of them.
Yeah.
Big trucks.
So
that they ain't
just be mindful of that, and just use good safety practices. You see, I wonder what happened to his finger. Well,
yeah.
It's broke. But again,
did that have to do with horses?
It has to do with ranch work.
Ranch work.
No
Okay.
animals. Just working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be mindful of safety and safety first, second, and last. That's what I tell all the deputies always. And one of the things I would like to depart in, we need to just get back to that old golden rule: treat everyone else like you want to be treated. Because I think that since COVID, that we got isolated and our lifestyle changed drastically, that we haven't gotten back to that.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And it just seemed like everyone is pissed off.
Yeah.
And I said pissed off. That's the only way I can say it. For whatever reason.
Right.
I just think that we need to get back to being, kind to our neighbors and, treat people like you want to be treated, and don't be judgmental. Don't jump to conclusion. Take a deep breath. It's never really as bad as it seems. Take a deep breath, step back, stay calm and classy.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
There you go.
Calm and classy.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. You have been listening to Not on the Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. Check us out at Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. We appreciate you for tuning in. If you like this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Sheriff Burby, I appreciate you taking time with us today.
Anytime, man. Thank you.
All right.
Hope you enjoy that cigar.
There you go. I appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, do good out there in the community. And if there's people out there who's not doing good, give these guys here in Newton County a telephone call. They can definitely help out.